All of those that have joined us. It is April 30th, and welcome to the April 30th edition of Bar Talk. We wanted to touch base on a few items that are executive orders, let's say. So, Executive Order 49 issued by the governor was, I think, posted either this morning or late last night. It officially marks what I think Angela had alluded to yesterday, which is that we are, the order for staying at home has extended to May 31st. Except for, of course, those times when you need to leave your home. One of the things that it says in the order that I'm not sure I noticed in previous orders is it actually goes into a description of cloth face coverings to be used when you go to public places. Specifically, it mentions indoor spaces that are accessible to the public, such as grocery stores, retail stores, pharmacies, and healthcare facilities. Now, I will say that one of the places that I've seen a lot of people wear these is at the post office. I think that's probably where I've probably been more than anything. Outdoor spaces such as playgrounds, busy parking lots, and other areas, lines at takeout service, where the public typically gathers in a smaller area. That also is a place where you're supposed to wear a cloth face mask. And public transportation, such as taxis, Ubers, Lyfts, ride sharing or similar service, ferries, buses or trains that have, or any semi-enclosed transit stop or waiting area. You should also be wearing your cloth face coverings. So that order takes effect May 1st. That's tomorrow. There's also was another general order issued by our federal court system. For those of you that have an interest in or do practice in federal court, of the contents of this order, one of the things that I noticed was it actually has the process by which applications will be accepted for admission to the court. So I thought that was of interest. And then Washington County issued a revised probate court order, and I believe we have posted all of those orders on this slide on our website. Is that right?
That is correct. And my understanding is the Washington County order is based on the governor's new information. So
yes, I had a brief look at that, I'm curious to, I guess we're going to segue right now into, we're being joined by Judge Margot Jolie, who was also a past governor of the MSBA, and we're very happy to have her on board. And she is going to talk to us a little bit about the probate court and a little bit about what she's seeing in the estates realm, I believe. Does that sound right, Judge Jolie?
That does. Thanks, Thaddeus. So am I on?
You are on.
Okay, well, I just want to begin by saying to everyone that the probate courts are still operating, and we're trying to process guardianships, conservatorships, name changes, and estates in a efficient and professional way. And I think so far we're doing a pretty good job. The other thing I want to tell everyone is that the probate judges regularly communicate with each other. In fact, there was just a Zoom meeting the other day, and I think pretty much everyone participated. And also we send emails quite frequently to discuss issues that we're seeing in individual courts, and any issues that appear, and we just sort of bounce ideas off each other. The unusual thing is, of course, each particular probate court is subject to county commissioners. And so like in Franklin County where I sit, the county courthouse is closed to the public. And so we cannot have any in-person meetings, hearings, any thing like that. My understanding that is with all counties. So all probate courts do not allow anybody from the public to come in. I believe that's going to remain in effect till at least May 15th or May 30th, but at this time, even in Franklin County, I just don't know. So everybody should stay in touch with the probate courts. And if you ever have any questions, regarding the states, there are usually with estates, unlike guardianships and conservatorships, those hearings can be delayed and it won't cause any real problem to any of the litigants. So far as I know, throughout the state, cases are just sort of generally continued, and that has not been a problem with litigants. As we all know, informal probates continue to be processed because that's through the register. And so I don't think anyone's had any problems. As far as I know, nobody has really protested, either pro se litigants or attorneys, as how the process is working. Everything is pretty efficient because we have super registers who do the bulk of the work. I guess we'll leave it, that is, right? That if anyone has any questions, they can certainly ask. But if you have specific questions with your county probate court, by all means, contact them. They are available. Everybody has a different work schedule, but you can get in touch with the probate court.
Judge Jolie, thank you very much. While if there are any questions that people are thinking about, I'll give them a chance to remark on it. I was just informed by my sage counsel at my house, where I'm not right now, but she informed me a little bit ago that I guess the protocol these days with Zoom is to allow 10 seconds to lapse when you're soliciting questions to be as etiquette because of the time it takes to click on a square, etc., or click off mute to ask a question. I did want to comment on our personal experience out of this office. Out of my private practice is that Cumberland County and Androscoggin County have been the probate courts have been really good about turning things around. The registers have been really good, like you had mentioned, Judge Jolie, about those informal probates. They're issuing certificates of authority and just going right at it. So it's been actually a great working relationship with those probate courts. Are there any questions? Nothing? Okay. Well, if there are some questions that come in, Judge Jolie, we will share them with you. And if you're going to stay on with us, that'd be great, and we can address those as we go.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Angela, wanted to ask if you had some business side updates.
I really don't have much today. We're trying to deal with how we're going to move forward with Executive Order 49 at the MSBA office, which for the most part right now is we are going to continue to work remotely for the month of May. I will be changing my desk location at this weekend because I cannot work from the same spot anymore. I need a change. We have Aria E. from the Board of Overseers joining us tomorrow. And I can't think of anything else right now.
All right. Well, I'll throw out there that on the business side of things, that we had a Board of Governors meeting this morning at Angela and my request, so that we could make sure that we were reaching out and getting feedback from our constituents that we need to help them. And the two things came out of it. We are going to press the governor a little bit on getting a representative industry committee is putting together to put checklists together for the practice of law and or other practices that might affect our practice of law. So any ideas that you have, the current listeners, about what issues you think we should be specifically looking at if we do get the opportunity to voice those concerns or desires or interests related to potential checklists for the legal services community and or how to earn one of the badges that the governor spoke about, please forward those up this way, whether through chat or through email. We're also working with the communications director of the judicial branch, as well as Justice Meade, to continue the efforts of transparency of what's going on in the judicial branch. There have been concerns raised by our constituents that the judicial branch is not being as transparent as they can be. So we are working that side too. And for all of those listeners, you should know that we are, as an organization, working as hard as we can to get answers for you, as well as to get transparency from the judicial branch. There was another part of Executive Order 49 I just wanted to mention. We alluded to yesterday that it does specifically mention the governor's restarting plan and how there's going to be more information to flow from that. And we did also have a question too for Judge Jolie, if she's still with us, that there was an issue brought up in the past about sheriff departments serving documents, subpoenas, etc. You had mentioned, Judge Jolie, that your court's doors are open and closed by the decisions of the commissioner or the commissioners in your county. Is that right?
Correct.
Do you know anything about how the commissioners may be involved, or who is involved in the sheriffs making decisions of serving or not serving documents that they're asked to serve?
I don't think the commissioners have authority over the sheriff regarding that particular job. And I have heard about that also, because it does affect the probate courts, because although it's not estates, but in guardianship, conservatorship proceedings, the respondent has to be served.
Right.
And it's how to get that service. And I think that's where folks should talk to their particular probate court that they're dealing with, because people are handling it a little differently, because it's really case by case, day by day. If all the participants, all the interested persons agree that the petitioner could somehow serve that on the respondent, then that certainly is being considered. But if somebody has some sort of objection, everybody has to talk to see how are we going to make service on the respondent. So, once again, communication's key. Talk to your probate court about that. Talk to the other litigants if you can. Talk to the other attorneys if there are attorneys. Talk to the pro se people. And I think that is what we do in probate court. But the short answer is I don't know the commissioner's authority over a sheriff when it comes to service.
Okay. Thank you very much, Judge. All right. And if there are any alibis that come, they'll come. On the personal side, I always like to talk a little bit about what I'm thankful for. Today, I am thankful for the propane delivery people. It just so happens that I have a tenant that is next door to our office that apparently the gauge wasn't working on the tank, the propane tank outside. And when the propane delivery person had checked on it like 2 weeks ago, it said it was 70% full. Well, last night it went to 0. So thank goodness the temperature didn't go to 0. But right away this morning, even before probably offices opened, it was delivered, and the furnace was reset and going. So thank you for propane delivery people for being on top of getting people warm. Any alibis, Angela?
No, I don't have anything else.
All right, so it looks like we're staying on schedule. Oh, no, we're over. So please, anyone that can get us some questions or concerns or interests that they want us to address with the governor or the judicial branch, please send it along. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Judge Jolie. Thanks, Angela.